Hip-hop at its heart has always been about collaboration. I mean, more than pretty much any other kind of music, it just thrives when artists get together. And one of the absolute purest forms of that collaboration, the cypher. So let's break down what a cypher really is, where it came from, and why it's still so important to the culture today.
So, when you hear the word cypher, what do you picture? Probably a group of rappers standing in a circle, freestyling, right? Trading bars back and forth. And hey, you're not wrong. But trust me, there's a much deeper story behind it. So what is a hip-hop cypher, really? And where did this whole thing even start?
All right, to really get to the bottom of it, we've got to start with a solid definition.
Okay, so at its core, this is it. It's a space, usually a circle, where MCs can just flex their lyrical muscles. It can be a friendly competition. It could be just for practicing new rhymes, or honestly, just for the sheer fun of it. This is hip-hop in one of its rawest, most essential forms.
And what's so fascinating is that the word cypher itself actually gives us some clues. I mean, it can refer to a code, which makes you think of all the complex wordplay and slang in rap. It can also mean the number 0 or a circle, which, literally describes the shape the rappers make. It all fits together.
So where did hip-hop even get this term? The answer is probably not what you'd expect. It actually has these really deep roots in a specific cultural and spiritual movement.
That's right. The term was brought into the culture by the 5% Nation, which is also known as the Nation of Gods and Earths. They were an offshoot of the Nation of Islam, and they started right there in Harlem.
And you can literally trace this influence over the decades. The 5% Nation gets started in Harlem, back in the mid-1960s. Then you fast forward to the 80s and 90s, and that first generation of New York rappers, who grew up around these teachings, they start weaving that language right into their music. Words like supreme, mathematics, and of course cypher. They just became part of the hip-hop dictionary.
Okay, let's clear something up real quick. You often hear a bunch of rappers all on one track, but that doesn't automatically make it a cypher. And this brings us to something that trips a lot of people up: the difference between a cypher and a posse cut.
So, the most important thing to remember is this. A cypher is all about that rawness, that spontaneity. It doesn't really follow the normal rules of a song.
This side-by-side comparison makes it super clear. On one hand, you have the cypher. It's unstructured. Every rapper brings their own topic, and the whole focus is on pure lyrical skill. Think of a freestyle session or one of those online video series. On the other hand, you've got the posse cut. Now that's a structured song. It has a chorus, a theme, and the goal is to make a solid, cohesive track. Think of huge hits like Drake's Forever or T.I.'s Swagga Like Us.
So you might be thinking, is the cypher just some old school thing that doesn't happen anymore? Absolutely not. It is alive, it is well, and it's evolving. Let's take a look at a really cool modern example coming out of the Dallas hip-hop scene.
See, today, the cypher is this incredibly powerful tool. It's a way for new artists to get their name out there, and it's a way to bring together different generations of rappers who might never have had the chance to work together otherwise.
Just look at this number, 14. That's how many different rappers the producer Prince P got together for something called the Triple D Cypher. And he mixed it all up. He had local Dallas legends like Big Tuck and Mr. Pookie on the same track with brand new artists. And guess what? It became a massive local hit.
And Prince P himself just nails the whole point with this quote. He said, "It showed that when you unite instead of divide, you can create greatness for one cause, the love of music." I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Building that community. And this wasn't a one-time thing either. This is a real trend happening in Dallas. Prince P is already working on a sequel called Reloaded, and other people in the scene, like the blogger Roderick Rules, are putting together their own cyphers with that exact same goal, connecting artists who knew of each other, but it never actually linked up.
So why has the cypher lasted for so long? I mean, from the streets of Harlem all the way to the studios in Dallas. It's because it taps into the very soul of what hip-hop is all about.
You can really boil its power down to what some people call the 3 C's of hip-hop: collaboration, camaraderie, and competition. A cypher has all three. You've got artists collaborating over a beat, building camaraderie through that shared experience, and yeah, a little friendly competition to see who really has the best bars.
And it's because of these core ideas that the cypher just isn't going anywhere. It's so much more than a format. It's a pure expression of the genre's most fundamental values. It's a tradition that's going to be a key part of the culture for a long time.
So all of this leaves us with one last thought to chew on. The cypher evolved from a physical circle on a street corner to a planned digital release. As music and technology just keep blending together, it really makes you wonder, what's the next evolution of hip-hop collaboration going to look like?